This time we are within a very powerful parasha. We know that many years ago in this time, the energy of hatred for no reason created the destruction of the second temple. And since then till now, that energy is existing in a very powerful way. And the only way to overcome it is the energy of unconditional love, or at least to start with, don't do to others what you don't want them to do to you. The Rambam, Maimonides, when he spoke about the time before Mashiach is coming, he spoke what would be then. And he said that before Mashiach will come, God will send a person to create peace among people. Not to say what is kosher and who is kosher, to create peace among people. And this is what our parasha is about. Because what is Parashat Pinchas? What is the energy of Pinchas being a Kohen, being a priest? What he needed to do? Really his job is to bring peace and harmony. And we know that the only way that there is peace and harmony is when the light of God is present. When truly we reveal the light of God, then there is peace and harmony. When we do reveal individually the light of God, then we will have peace and harmony inside of us. When globally more people are doing it, then there is peace and harmony. What is the critical mass? When enough people will reveal their personal light, there will be enough light in this world to dominate over the negative and the evil that exists in the universe. So therefore, Pinchas, being a channel for the light of mercy, is doing what he's supposed to do. The story of the portion of Pinchas starts with the fact that in the last week Parashat, at the end of Parashat Balak, Pinchas had to kill two people that did something very wrong, that started epidemic. It was among other people. An epidemic started within Israel, and to stop it, Pinchas had to kill. And we know that Pinchas, being a Kohen, is on the side of mercy. So how could be that Pinchas, that is on the side of mercy, would kill, and after that will remain to be a Kohen, and won't be dismissed away from his job? So this is an issue by itself, but I would like here to manifest more with a few special things that there are here. We know that the Torah, the scripture, the scroll, is written in a very unique way. Most of the letters are medium-sized letters. Sometimes we have small letters, and sometimes we have big letters. So in this parasha we have the regular letters, most of the parasha. We have a small letter over here. We have a big letter a little bit in the middle of the parasha, towards the middle of the parasha. But we have here something unique that doesn't exist nowhere else in the Torah. In chapter 25, verse 12, the last word is peace, shalom. In the letter Vav of peace, the Vav itself is cut in the middle. And this is the way that it's supposed to be written in the Torah. And we know from other places that if this would be the case with any other Vav in the Torah would be invalid. It won't be a channel for light. And here, if it's not like that, it's not a channel for light. So he's saying, he gave him, it says that God is saying, tell him that I am giving him my covenant, the covenant of peace. And what's the meaning that Pinchas was given the covenant of peace? We know that there is external peace and there is internal peace. Pinchas lived long life. Some says that eventually he died, but he lived long life. And then some would say that he never died, and he turned to be Elijah the prophet, and they didn't die as well. And some would say that Pinchas died and reincarnated into being Elijah the prophet, and in that reincarnation, he didn't die. What's the connection between the energy of peace to that God is giving him his covenant of peace to the fact that he didn't die? We know about health and healing, that in this world is being built from the major forces that are the four elements: the fire, earth, water, and air. And all four of them exist within the body of each one of us. What would happen if the four elements are going out of balance in the body? Then the person, God forbid, will get sick. When we are getting sick, it's because there is no balance between the elements. There is fight, a war within us between the water and the fire and the air and the earth. The air wants to move, the earth doesn't want to move, the fire wants to burn, and the water wants to put the fire off. If there is internal war, there will be a sickness. If we can reach the point in which there will be total peace between the four elements within the body, then we would never die. When it speaks about total peace forever, we would never die. And therefore, when it says over here with Pinchas, I am giving him my covenant, the covenant of peace, the commentators are saying that really he gave that energy of peace within Pinchas, and therefore the four elements within Pinchas did not fight between one another, and therefore he could live forever. Therefore he is Elijah the prophet that went up to the heavens without dying. And he's alive till today. Comes and goes as he wishes, according to the job that he's receiving from above, the missions that he's receiving, but never died. Which means, because that we have that force over here, then it can inflict upon us. We want to connect to that channel, that when we come to, at the beginning of this portion, when we are reading it and when we are coming this coming Saturday to the word peace, we want to connect with that internal peace. Now, if there will be enough people that have the internal peace, the external peace will take place by itself. The problem is that we don't have that internal peace, and then not enough of people of us have that internal peace, and the result is that the frequency, the energy, is no peace outside, and the result is there is no peace outside as well. So therefore we must start within, to create within our world, inside, that peace and harmony that we need to reach. Before that we are going to reach the peace outside, the peace needs to be reached inside. Now, there are few things to say about that, and first is that if we don't understand what is our mission, personal mission in life, and if we don't fulfill our personal goal in life, if we don't do the things that we are really happy to do, how can we have peace in our life? So therefore we need to ask the light to assist us, because it's not easy. We have the opponent in this world, we have the difficulties of this world, we have the materialistic world, we have the energy of material that's trying to disturb us. We have that consciousness of desire to see for oneself alone, the ego, that always disturbs. We need a lot of energy to overcome that, and we need to pray and to ask the help of the light that will be able to reach our personal goal in life. And one of the indications is to be happy with what we do, to do what we are happy to do. And to do it the way that we would like to do it. It's not just doing what we love to do, because sometimes we can do what we love to do, but in the wrong place or in the wrong way. So therefore we need to do what we love to do, and then be happy with what we do the way that we do it. So we need to find it, each one of us. And then we will live with better inner peace, we will receive better inner peace, and then we'll get into a better place, personally, and also the globe. This is why the concept of Nachum Ish Gamzo, that he said about everything, this is for the good. And this is also for the good. When horrible things happen, it said it's for the good, because the light is in the business. Nothing happens to a person unless if it is for their own benefit. It's hard for us to believe it, but if we can believe it, and if we can live up to that on our daily base, day to day, day in and day out, that whatever happens to us, it's for our benefit. If we can live to that, up to that, then it's easier to reach that inner peace. Now, the purpose, obviously, as I'm speaking right now, is with the energy of Parashat Pinchas to reach our mission and our goal, and to reach our inner peace, and by that to reach the external peace. Now, I spoke about 4 elements within the body of the human being. This is what the Arizal is speaking about. Therefore, if we speak about 4 elements, those 4 elements have 4, which is the pure system, the good elements, fire, air, water, and earth. But there are also 4 negative elements within the body of the human being, and those negative forces are disturbing us. Something in the body that exists. As the physical has good and bad, also in the spiritual we have 4 qualities or 4 attributes that are considered to be good attributes, and we have 4 that are bad attributes. it would be easier to understand the system from the bad, as usual. Many times it's easier. What are the four bad forces within a human being that takes him away from peace and harmony? So, from the book of Sha'arei Kedusha, The Gate of Holiness, of Rabbi Chaim Vital, the student of Rabbi Isaac Luria, in one of the introductions, at the beginning of the book, he speaks about those four forces. And he says, the four attributes that are very bad, and they are the root for everything else. The first one is pride. And pride, ego, would be the root for anger and all the rest that come from that. So this is one negative one. Second negative one is the evil tongue and all that comes with that. Lies and all of that. Gossip. This is the second one. Third one, sadness. That is a very bad one. And depression that comes with it, and laziness that comes with it, and all of that. And another one is being controlled by temptation. It's not that the person wants to enjoy life in a balanced way. The temptation controls the person. These four forces are bad attributes that we have. And it says that if someone wants to develop spiritually, if someone wants to have peace within him, you need to clean out those negative elements from within, those negative attributes, and to get to the opposite of each one of them for the purpose of being with inner peace. Which means we need to come into modesty, to remove pride and ego, to get into modesty, to control gossip and evil tongue, and to come into the point in which we control what we say. And we don't say if we don't need to say. We want to speak if we don't need, and if we have something positive to say, we'll say it. And this is controlling temptation and being happy constantly. So this is four essential ones. And each one of us need to work at least on one or two of them that are the major one in their life. And the rest maybe will be less, but still there is what to work about. So the question is, how can we get the assistance and the help of the light to help us in that process? Because to change the attributes, I don't know if any one of you tried, but to change attributes is very, very difficult. It's not that easy. Oh, it's nice to speak about being spiritual and being a nice person and a good person and a sharing person, but when it comes to change the attributes, very difficult. Not that easy. Oh, the person can say, oh, I'm the nicest person in the world. The moment that someone will step on their toes, boom, the ego will be up to the ceiling, and the reaction will be up to the ceiling. And it's most of us like this. So therefore, being really spiritual means real deep work internally to be able to clean those negative attributes. And Rabbi Chaim Vital is saying no one starts even to work spiritually on themselves, to develop themselves, unless they do this work. So what they suggest is, how can we tap into positive energy to bring the light to assist us, especially on that one? So I'll go to the most important prayer that we have in the Torah, that was given to us on Mount Sinai, and this is the Shema Israel. We know that Shema Israel, the first verse, ends with the letter Daled. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. And the letter Daled represent four. Numerically it's four, represent everything that is associated with four, including the four elements, and including the four negative attributes, and including the four ways of people being killed by the court of that time. We know that in the time of the Sanhedrin, 2,000 years ago, there was a time in which the court of the 70 old people, could decide to kill people. They never did it, or once in a blue moon, if they did it, it would be a very judgmental court. They would call that court a very judgmental court. But what is the idea? The Zohar is telling us, in Parashat Shoftim Veshotrim, is telling us that, Parashat Mishpatim is telling us that there are four types of death. That it's skila, srefa, hereg v'chenek. Stoning a person, burning a person, strangling a person, and killing a person. It's the knife, a bullet, etc. And we know that these types of 4 types of death that a person might go through, it's not dying in a peaceful way. Because what's considered to be a peaceful way to die is when a person completes their mission in this world, they go to sleep and they don't wake up. They died in a peaceful way, in their bed. But if someone dies in a car accident, or from a knife, from a bullet, or from falling from a cliff, or something falls on the head of the person, or an earthquake, or being strangled because of smoke or fire, it's not a natural death, and it's not a peaceful death. So the question is why these types of death exist at all, and therefore as well. So the Zohar is saying that the purpose of that, the purpose of why people are need to go through such death is because that the body consciousness of a person, if they do something negative, attract a lot of negative energy. And for the sake of releasing, overcoming, cleansing that individual, sometimes, God forbid, they need to go through something severe as such death. And it says that in Shema Israel, when a person is meditating, saying Hashem Echad, when saying the word Echad, we should meditate to accept upon ourselves these 4 types of death, that we should visualize as we are being stoned, we are being going on fire, etc., being strangled, and all of that. What's the purpose? The purpose is to bring energy to overcome our own body consciousness. And if you'll pay attention, the letter Daled of Echad is a big letter Daled. In the Torah, in the scroll, it's written as a big Daled. The meditation is there, when we say the Shema Israel, when we say Echad with the letter Daled, we should meditate to elevate Malchut, which is the desire to receive, into Bina consciousness, which is the desire to share. From the desire to receive into Bina consciousness, that this is the love of mercy, the love of sharing. We should elevate the desire to receive to a place where it can receive energy to be transformed. So therefore, what we are doing in the Shema Israel, what I'm suggesting to do, that when we say Shema Israel Hashem Elokon Hashem Echad, to meditate in the letter Dalet, to elevate the Malchut, to elevate our desire to receive for oneself alone, to a higher consciousness, to the Bina consciousness, and to ask at that time for the light of God to dwell upon all our physical and spiritual organs and ligaments in the body, for the purpose of helping us to elevate and to purify our 4 negative attributes. And if we know that we have one in particular that we need to change and we need to work on, if someone knows that they have especially pride and ego, then especially to ask for assistance in that one. So with the letter Daled, when we meditate to elevate the desire to receive to a higher consciousness, we are asking to receive energy that on day-to-day life, in our life day-to-day, in those moments when we are with interaction with other people, and then the ego comes up, or the temptation is coming up, or the sadness is coming, then to draw upon that energy of the meditation that we've done with the Shema Israel, to have that strength to overcome that negative attribute, that the light will assist us. Because we cannot overcome darkness without light. The only way to overcome the darkness is with light. So if we are lack of energy, we need to get the energy somewhere. If we don't have energy to change attribute, we need to get energy where we can get that energy that will assist us to change that attribute. It won't happen by itself. It's not happening by itself. So therefore, my suggestion is that here in Parashat Pinchas, we can ask, especially when we come at the beginning of the parasha, when we come to read in verse 12, chapter 25, in the book of Numbers 25, verse 12, in the last word, Shalom, to stop for a moment and to meditate, to bring within us, from the upper light to ask, to channel into us, the energy of peace, that our 4 elements within the body will be in peace, the physical element, and therefore to draw to the physical body peace and harmony and health, and to draw energy to the spiritual level of our soul, and to the 4 attributes that we have, and to cleanse the negative one, and to strengthen the positive one, and to bring spiritual health and peace to our soul level, to the nefesh level, that need healing and cleansing and strength. This we can do with the word shalom. This is one thing. The other thing is also that in the Shema Israel, as I mentioned, we can meditate with the letter Dalet to receive that energy that would assist us with energy of overcoming the 4 negative attributes that we have. Now in this parasha, on the continuation, there is the question of the daughters of Tzlofchad, that he passed away and he had only girls, and they asked if they can receive, they wanted to receive their property in Israel, the property that their father was supposed to receive, when they enter Israel and come to settle Israel. And Moses was asking God what would be the answer for that one. And it says in chapter 27, verse 5, "Vayakrev Moshe et mishpatan," and Moses brought their judgment closer to God, in front of God. The word mishpatan have a big letter nun. You know that it usually, the letter nun represent falling down. Sorry. And this time, it represents the opposite, because it's the big letter nun. But also, they wanted to receive their property. Many times in this world, people don't find their place, where they're supposed to be, where they're supposed to settle, where will be the piece of land or the piece of house in a city or the piece of apartment in a city that would be the best place for them, for their soul. Here, when it's speaking about settling the land, they were asking for their piece of land, and their question was accepted. We want to tap into that channel, to ask that we would find where is our real place in life, where we should settle. If this is that city or that city, if we have the question. If we don't have the question, we don't have the question. But if we do, then we should ask the question, this is my place or this is my place? Should I live in Israel or should I live in the States or Canada? Should I live here or there? And within a city, where is my place? Sometimes if we have that question, we can receive assistance over here to find our place. This is another thing, to find the right place. After that, towards the end, we have here the story of all the holidays and the sacrifices that they brought in the tabernacle and in the temple for the Shabbat, for Rosh Chodesh, for the beginning of the new month, for Saturday, for holidays, etc. And then they bring here all the story of Sukkot, and in the Sukkah, which type of sacrifices in those 7 days of Sukkot, which type of sacrifices they brought in the temple. There is a secret within that reading to tap into a channel of mercy that removes the energy of judgment from this world. Which means, we know that there is always a battle between judgment and mercy in the world. And we know there are bad people in this world that want to create chaos. And the only way to eliminate it in the seed level is to bring enough energy of mercy. Within that reading, there is a secret to bring a lot of mercy into this world. So the recommendation here, when we come to towards the end of the parasha, to that reading, to meditate, to bring energy of mercy to this world, and to bring enough light to all 70 nations, that the positive will overrule the negative within each nation. To bring enough mercy, the positive will rule over the negative within that nation. And therefore, it would be affecting the entire globe as well. So this is what we have in this parasha as well. So the most important part that I was bringing this time would be the 4 negative attributes that we need to change, and 2 tools that we've mentioned. One was from the parasha with Pinchas and the word shalom, and another one would be with the Shema Israel, and this would be day in and day out, every day that we can say the Shema Israel, we should say the Shema Israel, to meditate. And the purpose is, yes, to do that, to receive that assistance as well, among many, many other meditations that we have with the Shema Israel.